The Power of Love. I'm not talking about Huey Lewis and the News, although that's an amazing song and one of my favorite songs in the era that I grew up in. But I want to talk about the power that love has and can have on you during your work week. And also not talking about the romantic type of love. But listen to this. This is a quote I read earlier today by former Chicago Cub baseball player Jim Murphy. He says, with love, you do things not for what you can get out of it. Again, with love, you do things not for what you can get out of it, but for what others can get and who they can become from it. It's a selfless journey, the most powerful one. When you get to the place where the journey itself is the reward, then you can have resonance. Then you can do amazing things. But it all starts with love. When you start putting others ahead of where you want to be, ahead of what your desires are, and when your only thing that you're thinking about is how can I serve others? How can I love others in what I do and through my work? You know, one of the quotes in the Bible, or one of the verses out of the Bible says, God is love. Very simple verse. But when I think about that, God is love. What does that mean? To me, it means when I'm walking in the presence of God. In other words, living and being controlled by His Spirit. When I'm walking in His presence, I'm quite literally living also in the presence of love. And I believe people see it for what it is when I'm doing that inside of His presence. So when we're walking with God, and if we stay in stride with God on the journey of life that we're on and living in His presence, love is going to be a natural thing that happens. I don't think we have to try that hard for it. I think we just need to live in the presence of God because God is love. And when we live in that presence, love is going to be a natural result. And it's going to show up in our work. And when it shows up in our work and what we do and how we treat people and how much we care for the job that we have and take care of it, I think everything changes. And it goes right back to what Jim Murphy says in his book, Inner Excellence. Then you can do amazing things. So, what's the premise? You start with living in the presence of God. And in His presence, love will happen because He is love. Then you can do amazing things. That's the premise. Hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.